What up, what up, what up? What's going on, y'all? Big fight night today. We got a big fight night today, man. I'm actually pretty excited about this one. I wasn't even realizing that it was this soon that these guys was fighting. And it's pretty solid matchup, man. We got a solid matchup, man. We got Charlo, you know what I'm saying? You already know how he comes. And we got Brian Castano, man. Very interesting fight. Both guys very tough. You know what I'm saying? Coming to fight. Let me see what the people are talking about real quick. Drop your comments. Who's winning tonight? I want to see who's winning tonight. Who we got? We got Charlo, Brian Castano. Let me see what's going on. My man, the Quag said Jermell was a good fighter. However, his brother is soft till this day. Has car ball problems. Big ups to the Unrock Bums. Jermell got in. Oh man, coming at him. Damn. That's how you feel, huh? Okay. We got Christina Rooster, Castano. Hey man, you know, I was watching Castano fight Lara earlier today just to kind of like brush up my memory of Castano, because I haven't seen too many Castano fights. And you know, I was like, who's the best person I could watch him fight? And of course it's Larry Lara, you know. And he was looking really good against Lara, man. He was doing some really good stuff. He was landing some really good body shots. They fought to a draw. A lot of people thought that Brian Castano won that fight, and I could see why. I mean, he was just landing some really effective punches. He pressures you with intelligence. He moves his head. Even when he stands in front of you, he has a way of just catching the shots. You know, he's not like a guy standing in front of you getting hit. He's standing in front of you at a safe distance. When the shots come, he's picking them off with his gloves, and then he slips, and then he rips to the body. He can switch southpaw temporarily to rip a nice right hook sometimes. You know, he did a couple of very slick things against Lara. Castano is a real fighter, man. You know, he's a real fighter. Has a good amateur pedigree. Give me 1 second here. Looking at his amateur pedigree, he's beat some people. As an amateur, he beat Errol Spence, Esquiva Falcao, who's actually a good fighter. Couple of guys, man. You know what I'm saying? He was 181-5 as an amateur. So you don't get an amateur record like that and fight some of the top guys, you know what I'm saying? Win the 2000 World Amateur Boxing Championships without being a solid guy. I mean, he has a pedigree as an amateur, and as a professional, he's undefeated and a champion. So I'm very interested to see how tonight goes, man. Charlo got himself a real fight tonight. We'll see what's going on. My man Spreezatura, what up, coach? What's going on, man? Time the real fight start, California time. Anyone know? It's usually, I mean, right now it's starting now, so it should be starting at the same time over there. So it's right now. It's just starting over there, but this is just the beginning. So I would say about like 2 hours from now, I would expect them to get, you know, somewhere close to that 9 p.m. for you guys, most likely, and 11 for us, somewhere in that area. You know what I mean? So I would definitely get on there if I was you. Coach Anthony, sir, what's up? I enjoy your videos a ton. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. We got a Charlo guy in here, Lamar Pierce. Charlo by TKO, FBA, let's go. Okay, another, you know, Charlo. Listen, Charlo, we know Charlo a dog. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. We know he coming to fight. Did y'all see the weigh-in? The way them guys stared each other down? Like, it really, how, you know, Charlo always comes with a lot of emotion, but then you had some feuding with the camps, and then you just saw, and, you know, Brian kind of just kept his cool. I really liked how Brian just stood real cool, even though you could see Charlo was like, say something so I could hit you right now. You could see that energy coming off of Charlo, man. He gets really worked up before his fights. Him and his brother, they have a way of bringing all this emotion to the ring. I guess that's how they fire themselves up. You know what I'm saying? I'm kind of used to it at this point coming from them guys. But you could see it was real, you know? It was real. He was serious. It's going to be interesting, man. We got Charlo in 6. You know what I mean? Is Jermell not Jamal? Are you sure about that? Are you sure that he's fighting Jermell and not Jamal? I'm not sure you're right about that, champ. I thought I did my research on this one because I get those guys confused. I could be wrong. Let's see. Jermall Charlo. Yeah, I guess you're right. I guess it is Jermell Charlo. Jermell Charlo is the guy fighting. I guess is right. So we'll see how it goes, man. I'll fix that up. I appreciate that. I'll fix that up. I get those guys confused, man. I get them confused all the time. I feel like Lara won that fight. Okay, I was watching it. It was a very close fight, man, for sure. Very close fight. Very close fight. Fight ends by stoppage. I'm leaving toward Charlo, but it could be an upset. If it ends by stoppage, I don't know that Brian Castano is the one who gets the stoppage. If it ends by stoppage, I just have that feeling that Charlo is going to be the one to get the stoppage. I'm just used to that. You know what I mean? Going that way. But you never know. You really never know. It really depends. It really depends on what Brian brings to the table. We know what Jamel's bringing to the table. I should say, damn, man, I'm just gonna say Charlo. We know what Charlo is bringing to the table. You know what I'm saying? We got to see what Brian brings to the table. I love your channel. I watch and learn every day. You helped me since I got back into it. Thank you. I appreciate you watching me, choosing me to be the guy that, you choose to watch. I appreciate that. What up, Coach Ann? Shout out from Abilene, Texas. Abilene Boxing Club. Big shout out to you guys in Texas, man. I've been wanting to check Texas out, man. I would like to even consider relocating to Texas, man. Texas looks real intriguing to me, man. I ain't even gonna lie. Coach, do you think the manager of Castano could be getting in Charlo's head? Pause. Good pause. Perfect pause. Charlo could you see? Honestly, I think that this is how Charlo works himself up. He looks for this. Everybody has their own way of getting themselves worked up for a big fight. And I just feel that Charlo likes to get mad. Well, both of the Charlos for that matter. But I just believe they like to get a little bit worked up because then they have a reason to go in there with some fire. Not everybody's the same. I think for them, that's just their twist. At this point, it seems to happen so much with these guys. It always is like a lot of you know what I mean? So I just don't think that this is getting in his head. If anything, this is getting him amplified to perform because he seems to always get like this. This isn't a first time thing. This ain't like if we saw Manny Pacquiao acting like this, then I would say he's getting in his head because we always see Manny Pacquiao very smiley and you know what I mean? Very very humble going. If we was to ever see Manny Pacquiao start cursing and ready to hurt you at the weigh-in, then you know that he's out of character. That's when you know you're getting in somebody's head when they're acting out of character. But this has kind of been the norm. This has kind of been how he acts. So I just think that maybe this is just what he likes. So, sometimes you just have to see how a person acts on a regular basis to find out who they are as opposed to what's being said or what's right or what's wrong. I'm going off of data. The data tells me that they like to be a little bit fired up before the fight. Probably helps them, gets them in the fight mode that they need to be in. I used to work with a guy by the name of Hank Lundy, and he was the same way. Hank Lundy loved to get fired up before a fight. It's just what he liked to do. He get mad, you know what I mean? He just, you know what I mean? And then I work with other guys like Tevin Farmer who very calm before the fight, in a good mood, likes family around him. He's not upset. He's actually very, very ridiculously calm. You know what I'm saying? When I was with Tevin, I was very surprised on how he keep himself together in the locker room in some of these title fights and how calm he is and how happy he is. And he never really gets out of character. And other fighters, they like to get worked up, man. Every fighter is a little bit different. You know what I mean? I appreciate what you do, Coach. What are the biggest lessons you've taken from boxing / fighting in your life? Well, from boxing is just a metaphor to life. Like every time I have a question about life or like my business life or my personal life or anything, and or if somebody asks me a question about their life, uh I always end up somehow putting it in a boxing metaphor, because boxing can basically relate to anything in life. Anytime you're going through something tough and you want to quit in life, boxing will give you the same answers. If you're in a fight and you want to quit in the fight, you persevere, you push through. And it's the same thing in life. You're going through life, you're going through fights. We go through different trials and tribulations. We go through a lot of different stuff. And we have to work through it. And that's what boxing teaches you the most, to work through it, You know what I mean? To figure out a way. You're in a fight and one thing's not working. We have to use our brain and figure out another way. And that's life. In life, one thing's not working. You got to figure out another way. The fight ain't over till it's over. You know what I mean? Maybe you're running a business and you're not making no money for 4 to 5 years and you're ready to close up shop. And then in that 5th year, something hits. You know what I'm saying? That's a metaphor, right? Because in boxing, you could be losing the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 rounds, 12 rounds with 10 seconds left and come back and knock a guy out. But if you quit, then you lose. But if you fight through it, there's always a chance you could win. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't win, you can always come back and fight again. And that's basically what life is. You know what I'm saying? You might not succeed at one thing, but you keep on pushing in life and maybe you succeed at another thing. Just because you failed at one thing doesn't mean it's over. Maybe that just led you and gave you the experience to go to another thing. So boxing gives you a life metaphor. Fighting is just the skills that you learn in boxing to perform in the competition. And you learn so many things in that way as well. But the main thing that you're going to learn from boxing is that it is life, is exactly how life works. And if you have a question about life and you're a boxer and you go into your boxing brain and start to say, well, what would I do in a boxing match in this situation? You can kind of transfer that over into your real life and say, damn, it's the same thing. I was ready to quit, but I didn't. That guy was whooping my ass the first round, but I toughed it out, Or that workout was real tough, but I pushed through the workout. You know what I mean? And you gain this sense of confidence and control over yourself. So boxing teaches you so many lessons, and that's like an example of the main lesson that you're going to learn. But the actual skills and stuff like that, that's a whole nother story, And, I've learned many lessons in that way as well. So I hope that answers that. Tonight, Destiny lines up jermell making history tonight. We'll see, man. We'll see. I like the Charlos, man. When the Charlos first came on the scene, the one thing I wasn't excited about them was I wasn't feeling all the, like, how do I put this? I wasn't feeling all the, like, emotion they would bring into, like everything was all super emotional. Like, I'd be like, come on, man. Like, stop always looking so emotional. That was my thing with the Charlos when they first hopped on the scene. I couldn't really, like, get with it. Like, it was kind of, like, annoying to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, as a fan, I wasn't really feeling it. But after seeing them perform and always show up and always win and always show that they're willing to fight to the end and, really lay it on the table, I had to, like, tip my hat to them and say, y'all thorough. I got to give it to y'all. Even though I wasn't with all the emotionalness and all the, you know what I mean, looking like they, want to, cry and fight at the same time and all of that. But once I got to see them really perform and really just do what they do and constantly show up and really not duck and really want to fight, I had to just respect them guys. So I got big respect for them, and let's see what happens. You know what I mean? Yo, Coach, a YouTube nerd told me if you don't know the difference between the Charlos, then you're a casual. I guess I'm a casual. I guess I'm a casual, man. Gotta be honest, I'm constantly confusing them guys. This isn't a one-time thing. I've confused these guys damn near on every single fight. I don't know what it is, man. I just get confused with these guys, man. But I know who they are. That's the funny thing. It's like a rap song, right? Like, you know the song, but you don't know the rapper's name. That's kind of how I get with their names are so freaking close, man. It's like they got the same last name and there's like one letter difference in their first name. It's like very difficult for me to, you know what I'm saying? And it's not like I'm sitting there watching everything they do, you know what I mean? I just keep up with them when they fight. What up, Coach? Love your channel. Knowing what Castano did to Errol Spence in the amateurs, this fight is going to be unanimous decision, a unanimous favor for Castano. Maybe a late stoppage. What do you think? It's going to be hard to base an amateur fight with a professional fight. You know what I mean? An amateur fight's a 3-round match. You know what I'm saying? Back in the days, they even used to do 4 2-minute round matches. I don't know if they fought a 4 2-minute round or if they fought a 3 3-minute round. You know what I mean? As amateurs changed, it changed to 3-minute rounds, 3 rounds instead of 4. But honestly, I can't base it off of that. I really can't, man, because it's not comparable. It's 2 different things. You're fighting 2 different styles. You know, you're trying to rack up a lot of points in a short amount of time as opposed to fighting a 12-round world championship professional prize fight. 2 different things. You know, the pace is a little different. The stamina is a little different. No headgear is on. The gloves are a little smaller. These guys are sitting down and they punches a little bit more. So it's going to be very difficult for me to base it off of an Errol Spence win in the amateurs. If anything, I would more look at the Lara fight for data on this fight than that. But what I will say is, with his amateur pedigree and his professional pedigree that he's shown, he's a very serious opponent. And I would not take him lightly if I was, you know, on that team. I would take him very seriously. He comes to fight. He comes to you. He throws to the body and the head. He mixes up his punches. He knows how to stand in front of you. You know, standing right in front of you, standing in the middle was like a cardinal sin, right? Everybody's talking about keep your head off the line and do this and do this. But he does it, but he does it in a very, very mature way. You know, he'll catch shots. You know, he'll slip at the right time. You know, he's aggressive, but at the same time, he keeps a safe distance before he comes in. He's patient. He's shown a lot of good skills. Now, if he stands in front for too long and maybe he goes to catch one of those shots and it slides through the glove, or maybe something happens in the exchange and he gets clipped, or then we're going to find out what his chin is like. You feel me? But, you know, Lara was throwing some really hard straight left hands at him, and he was catching them very comfortably. And he was able to walk forward very comfortably. I was quite impressed with that. So I'm very excited, man. It's actually a good night of boxing, man. I'm very excited. Castano was calm when the action happened at the weigh-ins. He was very calm. He was very, very calm. I liked how he kept his composure there, because it's real. You know, that's one thing about that too, man. It's very difficult for a man, you know, and this is what separates professional boxing from amateur fighting, and guys who never fought professional and guys who fought professional, right? Like me. I never fought as a professional boxer. Fought as an amateur, but never as a pro. I fought on the street, but never as a professional boxing prize fighter, right? And the way that Charlo looked at him with that aggression and getting close, not too many men can handle that kind of intense pressure calmly. Even professional prize fighters. You see guys like Riddick Bowe, who boop, boop, you know, hit the guy at the weigh-in. And just recently, the bare knuckle fighter, my man Hector, the former UFC fighter, guy walked up on him after he won his fight. He hit him, boom, boom. You know what I'm saying? It's very difficult for a man to stare you down like, I'm gonna, and you just stay there with a smile, you know. And that's what Castano did. He stood there with a smile. I was like, very, very impressive, you know, because most guys under that kind of tension would be like, man, I gotta hit this guy because look how he's looking at me. He might hit me, you know. So most guys will either attack out of fear or attack out of the fact that they don't like somebody looking at them that aggressively. Castano stood extremely professional, kept the smile, even when the camps was arguing and all of that. You know, I got to give him his props, man. Big shout out to my cousin Peter Nieves in this right here. Big shout out to him. Ex-professional boxer, Golden Glove champion in New York City. You know what I mean? did his thing as a fighter. Big shout out to Peter. Look him up, man. Check him out. Abdul Shakur said Charlo does get hyped to fight, but in my opinion, that's his weakness because he gets too worked up and ends up loading up on his punches. I mean, maybe so, but I've never seen him super calm before fight and perform either. So I don't really know. I don't really know if there's a difference in performance between him. I don't study the Charlos like that. As you can see, I'm getting their names wrong. Like I watched them in their big fights. I've missed a few of their big fights. But from what I've seen and what I know, it just seems that over the years, and I'm not just talking about the Charlos, I've met fighters that perform better with a chip on their shoulder. They perform better that way. It hypes them up. It gets them going. And it just seems that he's one of those guys. So whether that hurts him or not, I don't know. Maybe he needs it. I don't know. I'm not sure what you're talking about here. I guess y'all talking to each other in the chat. What's good, cuz Jamaica did you good? Jamaica did do me good, man, but I got food poisoning out there, man. My stomach was destroyed, man. I thought I was gonna die, Peter. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I was messed up. I was almost not gonna see Coach Anthony boxing no more, man. But other than that, the trip was fantastic. Yeah, I got like cramps in my stomach, man. It was scary, man. I was in pain. But other than that, I was good. Jamaica is a beautiful country, man. That's for sure. But I'm happy to be back in the United States. That's without a doubt. Javier Ramirez, bro, when Tevin coming back? I miss him, man. Listen, I wish that I could tell you. I really don't know. I really don't know. Tevin has just been chilling, handling some business. If you guys follow Tevin Farm on Instagram, you guys will know that he's dibbling and dabbling in business ventures. He's trying to be smart with his money and invest. And, he's trying to be more than just a boxer. So we'll see what happens, man. At the end of the day, Tevin won the world title. I was with him for that whole episode. You know what I mean? Before he won the title, after he won the title, defended it 6 times. And, it was a fun run, and we'll see what happens in the future. Tevin's willing, able, capable to continue fighting, but the politics of boxing, you know how that go. You know what I mean? If it was as easy as just get a fight, believe me, he would have fought already. But there's things that goes on behind the scenes that even I don't know. You know what I mean? A lot of the times I don't even know what's going on. I just get the phone call. Coach Anthony, I got a date. Okay, I'm over there. We get to work. But it's not like I'm all in the mix and knowing what's going on with the business and all of that. And, the promoters and everything that's going on behind the scene. And, so it's a lot going on. But, yeah, that's just how boxing works, man, Are you feeling better now? Yeah, I'm feeling a little bit better, man. Not 100%, but I don't feel the sharpness in my stomach no more, so I'm good, man. I was a little nervous, man. I ain't gonna lie, but I'm good, man. I'm good. Give me 1 second, guys, real quick. I'm trying to see something. All right, so let's see what we got here. Hey, Coach, tips on getting the most out of your range with the right hand. The tips on getting the most out of your range with the right hand is to make sure that you can land your jab. That is the number one tip I can give you. If I am missing my jab, but especially by like this much, you feel me? And I'm trying to throw a right hand, most likely I'm gonna fall short, right? I gotta at least be almost that jab gotta be like right here on my opponent if I'm not landing it before I even attempt to throw a right hand. But if I land it, bop, boom, even better. You know, that's what the jab is for. The jab is not only to land it, it's also your range finder. You know what I mean? You throw the jab. Now, you don't always have to leave it out there like a measuring stick, which you can use it as a measuring stick. But when you land the jab, that kind of determines where you are. And then once you land, you just have to release. You know, what ends up happening sometimes is the guys that throw the jab and hesitate on the right hand. When you hesitate, it gives the guy an opportunity to step back, circle away. You feel me? Or possibly, you know, yeah, basically those are two things guys are going to do if you give them that opportunity. But if you just land, bop, boom, you got to let it go. Bop, bop, you just got to let it go. And if you let that thing go, boom, the guy catches the jab, right hand comes, or he gets hit with the jab, right hand comes. You see what I'm saying? Or you throw the jab to the body, bring the right hand upstairs. They go to drop, boom. So as long as I'm touching the gloves, the forearms, the elbows, something that's going to let me know that I am there. But I have to release the shot right away. I can't sit there, hesitate. I can't sit there and wait for them to circle away. And I also can't reach with the right hand. Big no-no. A lot of amateurs do that. They love to throw the right hand from way too far away. And then they're getting clipped on the top of the head with check hooks and uppercuts and everything else. So make sure you're able to land your lead hand. This is the closest hand to your target. Your lead hand, whether you're southpaw or righty, make sure you're touching your opponent. Then you let the right hand go. Or the cross go, the left hand, whatever it is. You feel what I'm saying? So that's the number one tip I can give you. You know what I mean? Make sure you can land your jab first. And also, for the record, man, I almost forgot. You already know it's my last weekend doing this. C8 party 75% off all courses. I extended this thing 2 weeks. 2 weeks ago, I said I was going to cut this. Leaving it on here. Done with it tomorrow. By Monday, sales completely over. That's 100%. I'm sticking to my word. So I extended it 2 weeks since Independence Day, basically. So I'm going to leave that up there for you guys if you guys are interested. You know what I mean? On taking advantage of that. And actually, man, there's going to be some other fights. Who else is fighting on this card, man? Because I am about to go and check out some of them fights in a minute. Who else is fighting on those cards? Coach, Ricardo Mayorga smokes cigarettes, but do you know any good fighters in the past who smoke cannabis? This is like a way, like I don't know if this is a way for you to okay yourself for smoking. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you're trying to find like, well, he did it, I could do it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. You know what I mean? But there was a few. I'm not gonna put no fighters' business out there, but there was a few fighters that did smoke cannabis, cigarettes, black and miles. I've seen it. I've seen guys smoke and go into the gym and fight. There was one fighter in particular that I actually got an opportunity to train with, spar with, who actually fought and did some really good things in boxing. But for the most part, yeah, there's a few to do it, but that's not something that I recommend. You know what I mean? It's an anomaly. It's really not good for you, and it's not something that you should think that you can get away with. So, you know, and smoking marijuana, you will get tested for as a fighter. So, you know, I wouldn't go that route. You know, but there is guys who've done it in the past. Yes, yeah, there's guys who've done it in the past. You had guys who've done everything from marijuana to snorting cocaine. You know what I mean? Like I've seen. You know, it all happens. I mean, not all fighters aren't perfect, but if you're serious about your craft, the chances are that you don't want to go that route. You know what I mean? You even want to try to limit the alcohol. You know what I mean? Like you got guys just because alcohol is legal, they're like, oh, well, it's legal in between fights. You know what I'm saying? It's cool if I drink, but drinking, that takes a wear and tear on your body just as bad as any of those other drugs. It's just that it's legal. You know what I mean? But if it was illegal, you guys would be looking at alcohol like it was the worst thing ever created. You know what I mean? So, you know, fighters, you know, don't always do the right thing for their careers, but, you know, we try to not do those things. You know what I mean? My man Peter said, I've seen worse. I'm sure you have, man. You've been around. I'm sure you've seen way worse, especially back in the day. Yeah, man. So, all right, guys. I just hopped on here for a few. We'll go watch some boxing, and then we're gonna be on here after to talk about last predictions, guys. Let me know. Last predictions: Charlo or Castano? Charlo or Castano? Let me know. I want to see these last predictions because this is gonna be here when I upload it, and then after anybody who's picking Castano, let it be known. Because you guys are going to be the minority group. Most people are picking Charlo. I want to see where the Castano people are at. Because I'm going to be honest, man. I like Castano. I think that he's a threat. But I don't know enough about him to pick him over Charlo. I'm not picking anybody in this fight, to be honest. I'm hoping that this is a very competitive fight. I don't know. But I want to see where the Castano people are at. Okay, I'm gonna remember that name, Abdul Shakur. He said stoppage in 8 rounds. If you're right, I will be, remembering this. Almost everybody else who I've spoken to said Charlo, if that means anything, you know what I mean? But nobody said it's gonna be easy by any means. I've spoken to a few people, and a lot of people said it's gonna be a competitive fight. My man said Charlo. Lewis said Charlo, 11 round KO. Rudy Ramirez, Charlo. Jose said 50-50. You gotta pick one, baby. You gotta pick one. Or you can't say nothing. You just gotta stay quiet. Gotta pick one. Jamal Davis, Castano in 10. Woo! Castano in 10. All right. All right, Jamal. I see you, baby. Another one. All right. Damn. Okay, so now people are starting to. Now, is it Castellano or is it Castano? Am I getting all the names wrong today, bro? Like, seriously, though? Like, let me make sure here. I'm not bugging. No, it's Castano. The ones with the Castellano, y'all wrong with the I in there. There's no I. It's Castano. Austin said Charlo early. Okay. All right. Well, so far it's like 70-30 for Charlo in here right now. 70-30 Charlo. So we'll see. You know what I mean? We'll see. Give y'all a couple more seconds to chime in. But I will be definitely back on here because we all want to watch the fights. We want to watch the undercards and all that. So I'm not going to sit here and have y'all talking to me the whole night. We got to go watch it. So, all right, man. Well, I'm out. Thank you. You already know the deal. I'll be checking you guys after the fight.